Hitting team that has the momentum. Let's get you out to the ballpark where the Texas Rangers host the Minnesota Twins.
The Rangers look to battle their way out of a 5-game losing streak, their longest in over a year. The Twins have won 6 of their last 8 games and hope to improve on that with another victory. Welcome to baseball night in America, and it is a hot and muggy baseball night in Arlington, Texas. And welcome to Arlington. I'm Dick Bramer. You'll hear from Mitch Williams in just a moment. Texas manager Ron Washington says his team has hit the skids. There's a reason for that. They've been bitten by the injury bug, particularly the pitching staff. Up until tonight, half the opening day pitching staff has been on the disabled list. But, Mitch, tonight they get an important piece of that pitching staff back with Derek Holland.
Well, there's no question. Derek Holland is a very important part of their starting rotation. We all saw what he's capable of doing in the World Series last fall. He has to put it together with his lower half and his mechanics. If he can do that, you're looking at a kid that's only thrown 67 innings this year, and they're getting some pieces back in the second half that are very strong pieces. Agondo, Feliz, this is a strong staff.
And the Twins know all about what injuries can do to a roster. Last year, Joe Mauer didn't play very well or very much, but he's back.
Well, Joe Mauer hasn't won 3 batting titles because he can't hit. Joe Mauer can hit. When he's healthy, he is a huge part of the Minnesota Twins.
Twins have played well against the Rangers over the last couple of years. They hope to go into the All-Star break with continued momentum, while the Rangers would love to end that losing streak tonight. For the first time in about 5 weeks. He had a flu bug. He dropped some weight, had some shoulder weakness, had to build himself back up. And an important start for him as he wants to get a good one under his belt before the All-Star break. Here's the starting lineup for the Twins, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Denard Span, the leadoff man and center fielder for the Twins. More speed hitting second, Ben Revere, then Joe Mauer, Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Ryan Domit, Trevor Plouffe, Brian Dozier, and Jamie Carroll. And Ron Gardenhire as his team still in last place in the division, but they're playing much better baseball. The opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Can't do it, of course, but if the Twins could start the season over with, forget the first 8 weeks, they'd be right there with the Chicago White Sox and the Tigers and everybody else in the division.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As you look at Derek Holland's numbers, he's made 11 starts. He's 5-4 with a real elevated ERA at 5.10, but he's only thrown 67 innings. And they've gotten through to this point of the season. They're 4 games up on the Angels with all these injuries. Now if they get all these guys, these young kids back with really power arms, and they don't have that many innings on those arms, it's going to be a good second half. For me, the scouting report on Derek Holland, everything starts with the fact he's got to stay back. He's got an above average fastball, an average breaking ball and changeup. But if he stays back, Dick, and what I mean by stays back, get to your backside and don't drift down the mound. His changeup and his breaking ball, they both become above average.
First pitch over to Denard Span. And now 1-1.
This is a kid on the mound that, I mean, you don't find left-handed arms very often like his, and it'll be interesting to see where his velocity is coming back off of the disabled list.
Span bounces a single to right. And the leadoff man is on here in the first inning. Rangers out in the field. Josh Hamilton tweaked his back yesterday, so David Murphy's in left. Gentry's in center. Nelson Cruz in right. Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Ian Kinsler, all going to the All-Star game. So's the catcher, Mike Napoli. Last night, Napoli was playing first base, so all 4 infielders for the Rangers headed to the All-Star game. But Napoli, of course, going as the catcher. Here's Ben Revere. And a strike. The Twins are an odd team in that it makes no difference whether the starting pitcher is a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher. They start the ball game with 3 left-handed hitters: Span, Revere, and Mauer.
And that's what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the velocity of Derek Holland right now, and it's not there. This is a guy that lives around 94 miles an hour, 94 to 96 with his fastball. The base hit to Denard Span, 90 miles an hour. First 2 pitches to Revere, 0-2, 90 miles an hour on both of them. So I don't see the arm speed that we're accustomed to seeing out of this kid so far.
2 strikes to Revere. Bouncer right side, picked off by Young. And they'll get the lead runner Span at second base, 1 away.
And that's a great thing about having a guy like Michael Young play first base. His footwork is impeccable. You watch what he does here. He's going to field the ball and then move to the inside to make sure he gives Andrus a good feed where the ball's not coming from behind the runner.
So 1 out, 1 on. Holland needs to be aware of Revere, who's a base stealing threat at first. Mauer at the plate. And his .329 average tied for 3rd in the American League in hitting.
And this is where pitchers can get so consumed with holding runners that it takes attention away from the hitter. I am not a believer in the slide step. I think it is a really quick way to injury. You have less on the ball. I believe in holding the ball and making that guy at first stand there longer.
Revere checked at first. Holland says he's gotten most of his weight back that he lost because of the flu bug back in May.
And
Revere takes off. He's picked off and thrown out at second base. And Jerry White appealing with Chris Conroy, the first base ump, that Holland balked.
I can see the footprint on the mound where he's stepped, and I know Derek Holland doesn't come close to crossing. That's absolutely at least 45 degrees. There's no way that's a balk. Now watch where his right foot lands right here. Just has to be in the middle between home and first. Absolutely, that's not a balk. I don't think he was out at second, but it wasn't a balk.
1-0 to Mauer. And now home plate umpire Marty Foster giving the Twins dugout an argument.
Mauer
fouls it back.
We're going to take a look at this tag at second base, and I think Revere's arm actually gets into the bag before he gets tagged, and he did. But
Jeff Kellogg, the second base umpire, the crew chief.
It is a thankless job to be an umpire.
Mauer drives it to the left field corner. Chased by Murphy. And no catch. 1-2 to Mauer.
You know, you get in a 5-game losing streak like the Rangers are in right now, people start doing things different. Superstition stuff. I don't remember Derek Holland wearing his pants high.
Okay.
I mean, just stupid stuff like that.
All right. Showing a lot of sock.
Yeah, I mean, that was really uncomfortable for me to wear my pants like that.
Down and in to Mauer. It's 2-2. Mauer has seen time behind the plate where he is tonight at first base, also in the designated hitter spot. Ron Gardenhire is trying to keep his 3-time batting champion in the lineup. 3-2 with Josh Willingham on deck.
This pitching staff here in Arlington, I know the pitching coach Mike Maddox was a sinker baller, and I see Derek Holland throwing 2-seam fastballs, and I'm just not a big believer in that. I believe that if you have a big arm, that you learn to command that 4-seam fastball. I don't care that the ball up. Yeah, you're pitching in Arlington, the ball flies. But a 2-seam fastball is designed to be put in play on the ground. Well, those things find holes, and a 2-seamer is not easy to command. If you're not Greg Maddux and can throw it over a dime, you can get hurt with it. I would rather see him throw his 4-seamer and elevate it.
Willingham takes an off-speed pitch on the outside corner, 1 strike. Willingham in his career has hit in the 260s. He's perhaps on his way to a career year in home runs and runs batted in. Off the end of the bat to short center. Gentry coming in, and he makes the catch. The Twins get a single and a walk, but Holland has pitched a scoreless first inning. Rangers, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live mod. Ian Kinsler leading off. Elvis Andrus hitting second. Josh Hamilton in as the designated hitter. Adrian Beltre, Nelson Cruz, Michael Young, David Murphy, Mike Napoli, and Craig Gentry.
You look at that lineup and you can't possibly see how all those names could go into a slump collectively.
Samuel Deduno making his first major league start tonight. Those are his numbers in Rochester, the Twins AAA affiliate.
Scouting report on him, he's got a really good curveball, a good slider. The big question is he going to have first start jitters in the big leagues. It's not his first trip to the big leagues, it's just his first start.
And he'll take all of those he can get. A first pitch out with Kinsler popping it up to Jamie Carroll. One down, and that'll bring up Elvis Andrus. Andrus has averaged just a few ticks below 300.
The impressive thing right there, that 372 on base percentage. He and Kinsler have got to be on base in front of Hamilton and Beltre and these guys to make sure that the middle of this order, there's people on base when they do damage.
Inside 2-0. If the uniforms look a little different for you fans, the Rangers are turning back the clock, but not that far, to 1994, the first year of this ballpark.
That makes me feel old when they don't turn it back as far as when I played here in '86.
A strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
And that's his fastball. It's just a little sinker. But in speaking with Ron Gardenhire, you look at his fastball here. Not a lot of movement, not a lot of velocity, but that pitch right there, that breaking ball, that's his out pitch. When you look at his minor league numbers, he's thrown 780 minor league innings with 835 Ks. So he knows how to punch guys out, and I believe that curveball is the big strikeout pitch for him.
Well, there's sinker for a strike, and it's a full count to Andrus.
I would be surprised if Andrus gets a fastball in this situation.
A few shakeoffs by
I think he wants that breaking ball, and he did.
Mauer catching Deduno, and he put 3 signs down. Deduno said, "No, I want the curve," and he dropped it over for a called third strike.
Well, there's certain guys that have way more confidence in their ability to command their off-speed stuff than they do their fastball, and that would be my deduction here. I think he's very confident in his breaking stuff.
2 down, and here's Josh Hamilton. Some concern today whether Hamilton would be able to play today. He's in as the designated hitter, taking a strike. He tweaked his lower back going back for this fly ball. He told us today in the clubhouse he took his first step back and he felt a back spasm down low in the back and came out as soon as that half inning ended. 1-1. Most of his back issues have been in the middle of his back, and this one was down lower, and said for a while it scared him because his legs were numb.
Well, anything to do with your back.
Driven to right, Revere back, and he makes the running catch on the edge of the track. Samuel Deduno with a 1-2-3 first inning. Today's game, presented by Budweiser, is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. In Arlington, Texas, we move to the second inning, and Derek Holland will face Justin Morneau, Ryan Doumit, and Trevor Plouffe. And a fastball off the plate, ball one.
And there's his four-seamer at 92 miles an hour. And Dick, you get to see him on a daily basis, and he's only hitting 106 against left-handers this year.
A pop up wide of third. Morneau has tried just about everything to try to figure it out against lefties. Got a base hit last night, driving in a run against a lefty, and he hopes from the smallest of a good at bat that something good will develop. But it's been an ongoing struggle for Morneau against left-handed pitching. Chopped up the line, foul. Time now for tonight's Ford Go Further keys to the game.
And when we look at both of these teams, it's very simple. For me, the Twins have to work long counts against Derek Holland. He's coming back off injuries. And the Rangers make Taduno get his fastball over the plate. If he's able to do that, it makes his breaking stuff that much better.
2-2. Holland to Morneau. And now a full count.
And that's that two-seam fastball again. When Derek Holland has the ability to reach back with a four-seamer and elevate it in the middle of the plate and blow guys away, I don't understand the two-seam thinking.
And a liner to center field. Morneau with another base hit against a left-handed pitcher. This one leading off the second inning.
You put yourself in a 3-2 count, so you have to come in. Morneau's sitting on nothing but fastball, and you look at that. That's a two-seam fastball in the middle of the plate. If you cannot command it and have absolute command over it, it is just a fastball with less velocity. Anything down is hittable. This guy has the ability to blow guys up in the zone.
Ryan Doumit, the designated hitter for the Twins. And he takes a strike over the inside corner.
So far tonight, Holland has worked ahead well, but you've got to be able to finish guys off.
Driven to center field. Gentry going back to the wall. It's off the wall and it hits Gentry. Morneau to third. He'll be held. Doumit with a double. So Gentry got to the wall about the same time the ball did, and it came off the wall and hit him someplace. Second and third, nobody out.
Again, that's another pitch right in the middle. You look at Doumit, stay on that ball and drive it. And Gentry going back on it. What he's got to do as a center fielder is get to the wall. I think that ball carried a little further than Gentry thought it was going to. And you see him looking up, checking the flags. Because it's different here in Arlington. The flags blowing in doesn't necessarily mean that the ball is going to stay in. It comes in and circles back out towards right center.
Here's Trevor Plouffe. Right back to the mound, past the pitcher. Holland, and Plouffe is out at first. Kinsler's throw nearly pulled Young off the bag. And Holland fanned on the one hopper back to the mound. A run scores.
Yeah, and that would have obviously saved a run right there. You watch that. You see Morneau at third. He's got a free. Oh, he was coming.
Yeah.
He's out right there. If Derek Holland fields that ball cleanly, Morneau would have been out at the plate.
Not only does Morneau come in on the play, but Doumit goes to third. And the Rangers, with that in mind, have to bring the infield in for Brian Dozier.
And now, in Holland's case right now, he's got to have a punch out.
A drive to right and a base hit. And Doumit will score to make it a 2-0 ball game. Third hit of the inning, fourth hit overall for Holland.
And the Twins have figured out right away that Derek Holland is working ahead in the count, and they're going up there hacking. They're not going to let him just get up 0-1 every at bat. You see right there, he jumped. Dozier jumped that ball, drove it to right. Now he's got an RBI.
Here's Jamie Carroll. Ball one. Carroll batting ninth.
And you look at Jamie Carroll's numbers, they're not going to jump off at you as eye-popping numbers. He's just a guy that brought in defensively. He does everything right.
Started the year as the starting shortstop for the Twins. Has played a little bit at third base. But with the arrival of Brian Dozier, Carroll now, when he plays at second base. 2-0 to Carroll. And a strike. Holland facing his ninth batter. So far he's retired just 3 men. Remembering that he picked off Revere in the first inning.
And this is not what he was hoping for, making his first start back, coming off the disabled list.
Fly ball center field. Gentry over. There's only one out, and Dozier is going to get doubled off the first. Brian Dozier lost track of the outs, and it's a double play and a huge base running mistake by the rookie. 2 runs on the board for the Twins. Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling. Twins get a couple of runs in the top of the second inning. Adrian Beltre will lead off the bottom of the inning against Samuel DeDuno. A fastball inside, ball one. Beltre, Cruz, and Young hitting for the Rangers.
And you look at Beltre's numbers, having another great year here in Texas.
1-1. Run scoring, oddly, has been a major component or lack of it in this Texas losing streak. Strike 2 called, 1 and 2 in their 5 losses. The Rangers have scored a total of 9 runs.
Well, they're in the month of July. There is not a team in baseball that has scored fewer runs than the Rangers, and that to me is shocking.
Down and away, 2-2. Ron Washington says, when we pitch well, we don't hit. When we hit, we don't pitch. The fielding has been off. 1 home run in the 5 games. hitting a little over 200. 2-2 to Beltre.
And Deduno, that's hard to say. Trying to throw him the hard snap and breaking ball right there, and just kind of ran off and left it.
3-2. And Beltre paying attention in the first inning. He saw Andrus strike out on that curveball. And Beltre was waiting for that 3-2 curveball and hit it hard down the line.
Well, they've obviously seen tape on him. They know he has a lot of confidence in his breaking stuff. As you see Adrian go to his knee, one of the few players in the history of the game that can go to his back leg, down on his knee, and hit the ball out of the park.
To left field. And Willingham plays it on a hop. So Beltre got another breaking ball and gets the first Ranger hit. Let's go to Matt Vesgersian for a DirecTV game break.
Hey, Dick, all-star rosters continue to evolve. Miami's Giancarlo Stanton expected to miss 2 to 6 weeks with an injured knee. So Nationals rookie sensation Bryce Harper has been added to the NL roster, becoming the youngest position player named to an all-star team. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Dick and Mitch in Arlington.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Your thoughts about both Bryce Harper and Mike Trout, two of the most exciting young players in baseball, neither of which started with the major league club at the beginning of the season.
No, neither of them did, but they both, as you said, are exciting. They're fun to watch. Both of them only have one speed. They play the game wide open. And I picked Bryce Harper to win Rookie of the Year this year in the National League, knowing that he was not going to be there in April.
One strike to Nelson Cruz. And now a ball. Cruz with a nice fielding play in the right field corner here last night, but he's contributed to the scoring malaise here in Texas. Inside to the backstop, and Beltre will advance. So Deduno, who mentions 29 years old, making his first major league start. One of the main reasons is the erratic control.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you said, he is 29 years old. And the one thing you got to know when you get runs is we look at this pitch there. That's just a fastball that gets completely away from him. There's nothing Mauer can do about that ball. It looks like it was going to hit Cruz. But you want to shut down inning right here. When you got the Rangers down, your job as a pitcher is to go out there and throw up a 0 that next inning.
Missing inside, 3-1 with Michael Young on deck.
Now he's put himself in a cripple count to a cripple hitter. Nelson Cruz is going to look in one zone and one zone only, and if he gets a fastball middle in, he's going to look to lift and separate. Good idea right there. That shows me a lot about a guy making his first big league start to throw a 3-1 breaking ball.
3-2. And so far, Deduno's 3-2 pitch has been his curveball.
Well, if I'm Cruz, I'm not looking for anything other.
And Cruz golfs it into left center field. He'll dig for 2. Here's the throw. Safe at second base. Cruz hustles his way to an RBI double. First of all, how did he hit the pitch?
Well,
he hit it right off the ground.
That right there, that's the kind of thing that can get you out of a funk. He looked that bad on the 3-1 pitch, and you got to know he's thinking breaking ball again on the 3-2 pitch, and he hits about a 9-iron right here. And you see him busting it from the minute he left the box. He knew they were going to try and throw Beltre out. He anticipated wrong, but another good hustle play here and a good call by the second base umpire Jeff Kellogg.
So a 2-1 ball game, tying run at second, nobody out, and now ball 1 to Michael Young. Young's numbers down across the board so far this year.
And you would think that's not going to last. Michael's just one of those guys that he's a professional hitter. I would still guess that his numbers are going to, he's going to hit between 290 and 310 this year. He's just one of those guys that knows how to handle the bat.
One and one from DeDuno to Young. Off the end of the bat into the Texas dugout.
Doing a little scrambling down there. That's why I sat in the video room for 6 innings when I played. It's hard to get hit up there.
So DeDuno gets ahead of Young 1 and 2. The Rangers have been fighting off his fastball and waiting for the curve. 2 hits this inning have both come on curveballs. And Young strikes out on one for a first out here in the 2nd inning. Tune in on Tuesday to see rookie phenom Mike Trout make his All-Star game debut. Trout leads the American League with a .347 average and in stolen bases with 26. No rookie has ever led either league in both categories at the All-Star break. And the All-Star game comes your way 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central only on Fox. David Murphy with 1 down and the tying run at 2nd. Not close, ball 1.
Murph is what I'd like to call just a lunch pail ball player. He comes to work. He does his job. He's not going to be one of those guys that people are going to line up to see just what is he going to do tonight. He just comes and plays the game right.
Over for a strike. DeDuno has thrown 29 pitches, 17 strikes so far.
The second time through the order is what's going to be really telling, because these guys, the Rangers, obviously haven't seen him.
This could be a changeup for a called 2nd strike.
And a very liberal strike zone right here. This ball looked to be away to me, but I could be wrong. Pretty good location.
1 and 2 to Murphy. Another curve. This one tapped to Carroll. Murphy retired and Cruz moves to 3rd base. Let's go to Matt Fisgersian for a DirecTV game break.
Well, Dick, last night the Yankees and Red Sox each scored 5 runs in the 1st inning, and guess what? They're at it again tonight. 2nd game of a doubleheader. Mark Teixeira's home run making it 3-0 Yankees early. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. Back to Dick and Mitch. Mitch, who clearly has driven his all-terrain vehicle all over the field in Arlington.
Matty.
You think the Yankees aren't smelling blood right now? Winning the 1st game of that doubleheader this afternoon. Leading the Red Sox by 9.5 games and a chance to actually push the Red Sox into last place in the American League East.
It just goes to show you how fast things in this game can change. Boston sat in 3rd place a week ago, and now they're struggling to stay out of the basement.
5-game losing streak of their own. The Red Sox hope to break that in the nightcap. 1-0 to Napoli.
And you start to wonder about the chemistry of baseball teams. They trade Kevin Youkilis, and have they won a game since?
I don't know if the White Sox have lost many since. It's been kind of the key to the White Sox surge, already winning today behind Gavin Floyd 2-0. Nice block by Mauer with the runner at 3rd, and it's 2-1. So DeDuno's been all over the place. A wild pitch led to a run earlier this inning.
He got 24 pitches thrown this inning. He's only given up 1 run. If he can get out of this with the lead, it'll be a successful inning.
High RBI, 3-1. Gentry on deck.
And if I'm Napoli right here, after watching what DeDuno did to Cruz, I'm sitting breaking ball. Yep, and he just gave him the slider sign right there.
And Napoli walks. Another nice block by Mauer on a pitch in the dirt. First and third, 2 away. So Gentry comes up, and Rick Anderson will make his first trip to the mound.
And this is a trip to just go out there and try and settle this guy down, DeDuno down. Say, look for your spots, trust your catcher. You're one pitch away from just getting out of this and getting us back in the dugout.
This has been a tough staff to coach, to catch 11 different starting pitchers. DeDuno's the 11th, and we're just now getting to the All-Star break.
Well, and that's where you have to start to feel for Joe Mauer. I mean, it's hard to build a rapport with a staff when you don't know who's going to be taking the mound from one week to the next. For the Rangers, this is a big opportunity right here. They've scored so few runs in July. They need to do some damage and get a big 2-out base hit right here.
First and third, 2 down, and Gentry at the plate. That kicks away from Mauer. Cruz will try to score. DeDuno puts the tag on. So a curve in the dirt. There have been plenty of those, but this kicked away from Mauer, and DeDuno covered the plate. And the third out ends the inning with Gentry at the plate. We'll return to Arlington after a word from your local Fox station. And we'll lead things off for the Twins in the third. Twins leading the Rangers 2-1. Span fakes a bunt and takes ball 1.
Well, he started him with a first pitch fastball last time. Denard Span smoked it into right field. He started him with a breaking ball this time. And you and I were talking in break, and it just doesn't look like Derek Holland is all the way back. to me, and to you too. I mean, his fastball at 90 miles an hour, that's not the Derek Holland I'm accustomed to watching.
His rehab numbers at Round Rock weren't that impressive. This man takes inside 2-1. But it's remarkable that the Rangers, who have led the West for all but 48 hours this season, and have, as Ron Washington said, hit the skids here, they're still leading by 4 games. There's a strike 2-2. But they've had, up until tonight, half their pitching staff from opening day on the disabled list at the same time.
Yeah. And they've got big arms. And I will always argue forever, when you have the ability to throw 95 and 96, you use that.
It's a drive to right center, and it's chasing Cruz back to the gap for the catch, 1 away. So Holland is back, building his strength back up. And here are the other pitchers, and there are notable pitchers here too. Ogando, a former All-Star. Feliz, their former closer, asking Ron Washington today when he comes back, where will he fit in? And still no clarity for that. He says wherever we need him. If the starters are going well, we'll put Feliz in the bullpen. If the relievers are doing okay, but we have a hole in the rotation, we'll put him in there.
And you look at 3 of those guys on that list: Lowe, Ogando, and Feliz, all with the ability to throw 97, 98 miles an hour. And we're noticing you can't teach power pitchers, all power pitchers, to be ground ball pitchers. You can't be afraid to throw the ball up in the zone just because of the ballpark you pitch in.
Revere chops it foul, 1-1.
I was a fly ball pitcher. When I got traded to Wrigley, that was the first thing people said. What are you going to do? That wind blowing out in Wrigley Field? I ain't going to change anything. I'm going to do what I do and hope it's good enough. These guys got to stay with their strengths.
Revere lifts the fly ball to center, and Gentry has an easy catch. Out number 2. And Holland comes back to the Rangers at, in one sense, the worst time. He's always been a pitcher that's gotten a lot of run support, over 6.5 runs of support in his career, and he comes back to the Rangers when they're scuffling a little bit now, scoring runs.
Well, and this will show us something about Derek Holland today, because he is out there. He doesn't have his best stuff, obviously, but that's what separates decent pitchers from good pitchers from great pitchers. Being able to win when you don't have your best stuff.
Strike 1 to Mauer. Drew a walk from Holland on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. One and one. Mauer in his last 25 games has taken the average, believe it or not, it was in the 260 range, now up to a more familiar level for him at 329.
Well, and that right there, that's a breaking ball that everybody in the park knew was going to be a breaking ball, because he completely slowed down his delivery. And trust me, a hitter like Joe Mauer knows immediately when he sees the deceleration in the arm speed of Holland that it's something off speed.
2-1. And now 3-1 with Willingham on deck. Holland has thrown now 40 pitches, just 24 strikes. Her first time through the Twins batting order, and he only retired 4 batters. So runner picked off, and Dozier ran into a double play, losing track of the outs.
And that right there, 93 miles an hour, 4-seamer. Mauer's late on it. It'll make his off-speed pitches better. You get more separation in the velocities.
And Mauer draws his second walk, so he'll be aboard for Josh Willingham. This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Willingham with a fly ball to center his first time up.
And this is where a 2-out walk can come back and haunt you because you got a power hitter at the plate.
It's a fastball for strike one.
Josh Willingham has been exactly what the Twins have expected of him this year, probably even more. You see the 59 RBIs.
1-1. Willingham signed a 3-year deal coming off in the power department of career year last year with Oakland. 29 home runs, 98 runs batted in, and he's on a pace to exceed both those numbers in his first year with the Twins.
And that's in a completely non-hitter's ballpark at Target Field. They wanted some right-handed pull power, and that's what Josh Willingham is. He's a pull hitter that has the ability to kill the ball to left field.
1-2. See 59 runs batted in, second only to Prince Fielder for first-year players on teams. Inside, and it's 2-2.
Well, if I'm Derek Holland, I'm going to pitch away from the danger here. And what I mean by that, something off speed on the outer third of the plate. Control Willingham's bat speed by changing the velocity and stay out away from it.
All 18 of his home runs have been to center, left center, or left. And he swings through, strike 3. 2-out walk does no damage. Holland comes off the mound trailing 2-1. Those of you who might be going to Kansas City for the All-Star game or just going to Kansas City anytime, I can personally and highly recommend the Negro Leagues Museum that's in Kansas City. It's a wonderful educational stop for any tourist in the Kansas City area.
Well, if you're a baseball fan, you absolutely have to go see it.
Craig Gentry taking a strike, now a ball, 1-1. It'll be Gentry, Kinsler, and Andrus here in the Texas third inning, facing Samuel Deduno.
this will be the last hitter, and he'll be one time through the order, and then he's going to have to face this order for the second time, and we'll see the adjustments these Ranger hitters make in the second time through the order, and see if DeDuno can keep up with him.
2-1. And now 3-1. DeDuno saying he's really looking forward to this. He was up with the Padres briefly last year, a couple of relief appearances. The year before that, made 4 relief appearances for the Rockies.
Yeah, we said it's his first big league start.
And Gentry squares the bunt, takes a leadoff walk. One of the things the Twins like about DeDuno, they say he's very athletic, fields his position well. Watch how quickly he gets to the mound after this wild pitch.
Yeah, and you watch him, he takes the plate away from Nelson Cruz right here, and that takes a little bit of courage to get in front of that plate, especially on a guy with Nelly Cruz's size. In my opinion, I don't think Cruz can go in that situation. He had just walked Napoli, and a curveball in the dirt that wasn't that far away. I give him the opportunity to fall even further behind in the count. I wouldn't have run.
That play ended the second inning, and now DeDuno issues a leadoff walk to a base stealing threat, Craig Gentry.
And Ian Kinsler is a high ball hitter. If he finds a hanging breaking ball.
Deep to left, Willingham to the corner. Makes the catch on the track. Josh Willingham with a catch on the track, as Kinsler has now seen 2 of DeDuno's pitches. He's put them both in play, and he made a bid there for an extra base hit.
We look at the replay here, and the concentration on Josh Willingham's face tracking this ball. Outstanding play right there.
So 1 down. Gentry still at first, and here's Elvis Andrus, called out on strikes. Back in the first inning. Up and in, ball 1.
And the Rangers lineup is making him work. They're up there making. They're not just going up there hacking. Other than Kinsler, he's been up there twice and seen 2 pitches. But I don't think Elvis swung in his first at bat. He did end up striking out.
Took a called third strike, a big curveball.
Right.
44 pitches thrown by DeDuno, and half of them strikes. He's had 5 3-ball counts.
Well, the outfield is playing him absolutely straight up right now. As we look at it here, the center fielder shifted just to the right side of second base. But other than that, left field and right field are playing him straight up. Anything in the gap, as short as this outfield grass is cut, is going to get to the wall.
Covers the inside corner. 1-1. DeDuno allowed a leadoff single and gave up a run in the second. Now trying to pitch around a leadoff walk.
And that was really close to a balk right there.
Fastball's up high. 2-1.
And as we look, and this may sound simple or silly to people at home, but facial expressions on a pitcher's face, that right there, that look right there, there's some apprehension in his face. Hitters pick up on that stuff. When you're on the mound, you don't show anything. Every pitch you throw, I don't care if it goes to the backstop, you act like you meant to throw it there.
Breaking pitch over the outside corner. That appears to be his go-to pitch.
I think without question. I think that's absolutely, he has the most confidence in that pitch. And right now he's out there and his mind is spinning. Do I keep going to my breaking ball? I have to show him my fastball, but I haven't been able to get it over. He knows a guy at first base, Gentry, can run, so that factors into all of it. But if I'm a hitter and I walk out there and I'm looking out at the mound, I don't see a guy on the mound right now that is certain of what he's doing.
Duno picks it up, fires a rocket to his shortstop Dozier, and he starts a 1-6-3 double play. Budweiser is sponsored by Ford. Go further. And by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB. The Twins leading the Rangers 2-1 as we move to the fourth inning. Justin Morneau, Ryan Doumit, Trevor Plouffe hit against Derek Holland. Morneau lifts a towering fly ball into the seats down the right field line, 1 strike. Morneau with a single and a run scored in the second inning.
And what I'm seeing from him, Dick, is he's pulling off the ball from left-handed pitching. So that's where I'm going to live, right there on the outer half, and make him roll over on the ball.
2 strikes to Morneau. Away.
And that's a good idea by Derek Holland right there, but in order to get him to chase, that pitch has got to be in the middle of the plate.
See, the problem hasn't been against right-handers. Morneau hitting righties just like he did when he won the league MVP in 2006.
And in this at-bat, we have yet to see a breaking ball from Holland.
On the ground under the glove of Kinsler. And Morneau has his 3rd hit over the last 2 nights against a left-hander. Let's go to Matt Vesgersian at the MLB Network for a game break.
Dick, Red Sox, Yankees. Andrew Jones won 10 straight Gold Gloves as a center fielder in Atlanta. A little older now, but at age 35, still making the highlight reel. Yankees trying to hand reeling Boston their 5th straight loss. Back to Dick and Mitch in Arlington.
Thank you very much, Matt. Derek Holland now with Morneau at first, facing Ryan Doumit, who Sent one off the center field fence for a double. The Twins scored their 2 runs. Domit signed to a 1-year deal as the Twins needed to address a lack of power in their lineup. And then a few weeks ago, Domit signed a 2-year extension. So his contract with the Twins running concurrent now with Josh Willingham. Bounced foul. And as poorly as the Twins have pitched, the lineup has been rather productive as of late. And the free agent signings that the Twins have made have generally turned out very well. Domit has been a very valuable member for Ron Gardenhire, a part-time catcher, even sometime in the outfield, now a primary designated hitter. Willingham could make a case that he should go to the All-Star game. This one lifted foul and out of play. Jamie Carroll has been a valuable veteran in a reconfigured infield for the Twins. But as the Twins have proven this year, been proven many times in baseball, if you don't get good starting pitching, none of that really matters in the 1-loss column.
Nope. You have to pitch in this game to win, that's for sure.
1-2 to Domit.
He's going to go with a slider here. Good pitch.
And Domit fans talk with Ron Washington about what he has seen from Derek Holland so far tonight.
Well, you know, in that second inning there, you know, he got the ball up a little bit a couple times, and you know, a ground ball hit back to him. He could have very easily got, you know, limited the damage right there. But, you know, he's at least keeping us in the ball game. He's starting to get a flow and starting to get a rhythm.
Ron, the All-Star game, you got so many of your guys going. You're managing it. Is that exciting for you?
Well, it's very exciting. You know, these guys are the reason why we're where we are. And, you know, I'm excited to have a full squad. You know, all the pitching that we could find, we're bringing there, and they all able to pitch. So hopefully we can get a lead and sustain.
Ron, thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Ron Washington had 1,586 major league at-bats, and more than 1,200 of those as a member of the Minnesota Twins.
I can tell you this. I don't know if there's a manager in the game.
There's Plouffe driving one to right center field. Cruz is over to make the catch. That's out number 2.
A manager in the game that gets more into the game than Ron Washington. He loves the game of baseball.
And an honor for the American League manager in the game to hand out the All-Star jerseys to so many members of his team, 8 of them.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's a lot of guys going from one. That's a team.
Then you have the coaches that will be going with Ron Washington. 2 down, Brian Dozier with Morneau still at first, and ball 1.
And this is the Rangers that are all attending the All-Star game.
5 position players, 3 pitchers.
That's a pretty imposing looking bunch.
2-0.
Back-to-back breaking balls to start Dozier. Now he's falling behind 2-0. If he's going to come with a fastball, it better be on an edge here. It can't be a cookie in the middle.
2-0. And Dozier takes a fastball on the outside corner. The inside corner.
And Holland looks to be, like Ron Washington said, kind of getting more into a flow. His velocity's coming up.
Breaking ball gets Dozier. And a couple of strikeouts in the inning. The Twins still lead it 2-1. America is presented by Budweiser. Samuel DeDuno delivering wide to Josh Hamilton. DeDuno had a 1-2-3 first inning, faced just 3 men in the third. Now we'll face Hamilton, Beltre, and Cruz. Good swing and a miss. And those are the swings, I would think, that will draw a lot of attention from the Texas dugout when Hamilton swings and misses, and what, if anything, it'll do to his back.
Yeah, if you see any cringing or anything going on, and in his first at bat, Josh Hamilton swings somewhere in the area of 60% of the time on first pitch.
Driven to deep left field, and his back is just fine.
Yep.
Number 27, and it ties the game at 2. Solo home run. Hamilton hit the ball hard his first time up, sending Revere to the warning track in right. This time he cleared the wall in left. And here's Adrian Beltre. And Beltre goes after the curve and lifts it foul.
And the funny part about that is the first pitch to Hamilton is a fastball way off the plate. And in Josh Hamilton's mind, he knows DeDuno has confidence in his breaking ball. And he stayed back on that curveball and drove it out of left field.
Skied to right, and Revere still running to the line, gets there for the first out.
We're going to look at this pitch to Hamilton. I want you to watch how he stays back, keeps his hands inside this ball. And that right there, that's just really good hitting. I don't think, there's no doubt in my mind that he was sitting on a breaking ball right there.
Cruz with a double. He golfed a curveball to the gap in left center, and he's going after the first pitch and fouling it back.
And that's the hardest fastball DeDuno has thrown yet at 93 miles an hour.
One strike to Cruz. And now a ball.
Having a good curveball can be a good thing, and it can be a bad thing, because at times you can fall in love with it. And that, I'm guessing that right there is his changeup. I think that's the first changeup we've seen him throw.
2-1. Right over his cap. A rocket into center field. Woo. If the home run by Hamilton didn't get his attention, that one did.
Well, and that's the thing about this lineup. The first time through the lineup, you can have some success. But you look at how Nelson Cruz stayed on that slider right there. I mean, that's a bullet. I've been on the other end of that, and it is zero fun.
Michael Young struck out swinging. First time you saw DeDuno.
And everybody in the game knows Michael Young is an inside-out hitter, so they're going to try and pitch him away.
Back to DeDuno. And another 1-6-3 double play ends the inning. So DeDuno has fielded his position well. He's been involved in 3 inning-ending plays in the first 4 innings. Josh Hamilton's long home run to left has tied the game at 2. Now in a tie game, we move to the 5th, and Jamie Carroll takes a strike at the knees. Carroll hit a fly ball to center his first time up. Brian Dozier forgot how many outs there were. Took off around second and was doubled off first. 1-1. Carroll, Span, and Revere facing Holland.
And you see this. This is an odd setup defensively. The center fielder Gentry is way in, just like he was in the first at bat with Carroll.
Carroll bounces out to Kinsler, one away. And that'll bring up Denard Span. Rangers, of course, a very productive lineup, but a team that's gotten to the World Series in back-to-back years because of very good starting pitching. That's why this night, as uneven as it might have been so far for Holland, is important to rebuild this rotation with the pitchers who were intended to be in it at the start of the year.
Well, and it's important for Holland because, like I said, good pitchers and great pitchers win games when they don't have their good stuff. And it's important for his confidence factor to say, okay, I just won a ball game and I didn't have anywhere near my best stuff.
The Rangers have 50 wins on the season, 41 of them from their starting rotation. Contrast that to the Twins, who don't have as many wins. They have just 36 wins and only 22 wins by starters this year. Span takes a strike at the knees. So it's easy to see, just based on that, why the Rangers are in first place in their division and the Twins are in last place in theirs. 2-1. Just off the plate, 3-1.
And there's a reason for that too, Dick. Ron Washington knows that his starters can go out there and give up a 4-run inning, and they have the offense to cover up that 4-run inning, and he's got the luxury of leaving his starters in longer, knowing that their offense can score, as we watch Kinsler make a great play.
Kinsler over to Young for out number 2. Let's go to Matt Fiskersian at the MLB Network for a game break.
Dick, the Phillies and Braves underway after a rain delay. Brian McCann homered Thursday. He hit a grand slam last night, and he's homered again tonight. Ironically, this will be his first full season in which he's not being selected for the All-Star game. Braves on top early. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. Back to Dick and Mitch.
Thank you, Matt. 2-2 here. 2 gone. Top of the 5th, and Ben Revere takes a strike. Revere reached on a fielder's choice, a ground ball to Michael Young in the first. And he hit a fly ball to center. On a grounder right side, Kinsler kept busy. 3 ground balls hit to the Texas second baseman. The Twins go down in order. Here in Arlington, today's game presented by Budweiser, sponsored by Chevrolet. Proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. Bottom third of the Texas lineup to face Samuel DeDuno, David Murphy, Mike Napoli, and Craig Gentry. And a strike on the outside corner.
And so far, Ron Gardner has got to be pretty pleased with the fact that DeDuno has gotten him through 4 innings. He's only given up 2 runs to this lineup, and he's kept him in the game.
And strike throwing efficiency, not the best. 60 pitches, 33 strikes. He's fielded his position well, and pitch down, and Murphy taps it foul. 1-2.
Well, if I'm David Murphy right here, I can eliminate fastballs from my thinking. I think for the rest of this at bat. And that's the big breaking ball where he tries to make it break rather than just trust the fact that he's got a good enough one that he doesn't have to overthrow it.
2-2 to Murphy. Hit a ground ball to Carroll his first time up. And there's another one that just kind of spins out of his hand. When we were given our scouting report on DeDuno, we were told that he has a curveball that snaps. And the last 2 have not snapped.
Well, anytime your lower half rushes out like that, he's muscling that pitch rather than getting to his post leg and just trusting the fact that he can deliver the ball and not have to hump up and try and make it break. Just throw it like he has been throwing it throughout the game.
Wants a straight change. And Murphy whacks it into right field. So before Murphy stepped out of the box, DeDuno shook Mauer off 3 times, and they finally settled on the changeup. And DeDuno left it up and gave up a leadoff single. All-Star Game festivities continue Monday with the Home Run Derby on ESPN. And on Tuesday, see the players arrive on the Red Carpet Show on MLB Network, followed by the 2012 All-Star Game here on Fox at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Mike Napoli will be there. Napoli right now in the box with Murphy at first and nobody out. Napoli and the rest of the American League hitters, if not facing R.A. Dickey as the National League starter at some point, they're going to have to try to hit R.A. Dickey in his knuckleball.
Well, if I was managing the National League team, I would start Dickey because there is no other knuckleballers in the game. So it's a pitch that the American League hasn't seen. Run him out there and see if they can chase that thing down. DeDuno's put himself in a spot right here with another high ball hitter in Mike Napoli that he has got to make pitches down in the zone, because if there's anybody in the American League that can back leg some stuff, it's Mike Napoli. He loves the ball up.
Up and in, nearly hit him. 2-0. Well, regarding Dickey, he ironically played for both the Rangers and the Twins before settling with the Mets. Kind of surprised that the Rangers gave up on him and the Twins gave up on him just on the basis of the fact that he does not have an ulnar collateral ligament. And as many pitchers as break down these days, you'd think that would be the basis alone to keep him. You can't break something you don't have.
Well, he wasn't a velocity guy. And the thing about a knuckleball, it takes so long to learn it. And then once you learn it, then you have to be able to command it. And that's the thing about it. His strikeout to walk ratio is ridiculous for a knuckleball pitcher.
2-0 DeDuno to Napoli. DeDuno has been helped by 2 ground ball double plays, and he started each of them.
Well, I can tell you right now that Walsh is going to give Napoli a green light right here.
Napoli's really struggled as of late and has really struggled against left-handed pitching. 3-0 from the right-hander.
A good way to get out of a funk is a 3-0 green light. That's a good job by Napoli, because you know he's up there, he's wanting to swing.
trip to the mound by Rick Anderson. So if R.A. Dickey is the National League starter, here are the guys who will be in charge of trying to make contact first and get something done offensively. Hamilton, Granderson, and Bautista, the outfielders. Full of Yankees up the middle. Rangers represented at third, Tigers at first, and the Rangers again represented behind the plate. And in the National League, Melky Cabrera having a great first year with the Giants. Pablo Sandoval, the starter at third base for the National League.
I didn't know whether or not Matt Kemp has been cleared to play in that game or not. And the other thing that has to be taken into consideration there, Dick, if they do start R.A. Dickey, the catcher that's going to catch him, because that ain't an easy thing to catch.
Gentry squares and pulls the bat back and takes ball one. Gentry walked leading off the third inning. Duno has issued 3 walks. He's walked Napoli, the number 8 hitter, twice, and Gentry, the number 9 batter.
And he's gotten himself out of a couple of innings fielding the ball, turning double plays.
Gentry again takes ball 2.
And this is just Spalding guidebook baseball right here by Ron Washington. He's going to use his 9-hole hitter to try and move these runners into scoring position for Kinsler. When you're not scoring a lot of runs, you play to get 1 run every inning.
A strike called, and Gentry slumps his shoulders in disbelief.
As we look at the replay on this pitch, he's got his bat at the top of the strike zone. That ain't a strike. That's what you're taught to do. You put your bat at the top of the strike zone. If it's above it, you take it.
Gentry went down to a knee to lower his strike zone. There's a good bunt. Duno fires to first. And Carroll runs the ball back in. So eventually Gentry gets the job done, dropping down a sacrifice.
And that bunt was put in a place where it could have easily been a base hit. But again, Duno is a very good fielding pitcher, as we're seeing. This is not an easy play to make, especially for a right-hander that falls off to the other first base side. He does a nice job on that play right there.
Second and third, 1 down. Kinsler has faced Duno twice. Casey Fiend warming up. Duno's faced Kinsler twice, and Kinsler's put the first pitch in play each time. An infield pop-up and a warning track liner to left. And Duno delivers strike 1 with a breaking pitch.
Ian Kinsler's the type of hitter that will maybe buckle on a breaking ball to talk that pitcher into throwing it again. And if he gets one up in the zone and leaves it out over the plate, Kinsler will hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Checked his swing. They'll appeal. Strike 2.
Let's see if his bat crosses in front of the plate. Yeah, I'm afraid I have to agree with the umpire on that one.
Duno could sure use a strikeout. Twins playing in at the corners, and his strikeout pitch is the big curveball. We'll see if he tries to snap one here in the 5th.
Well, and it's going to be up to Joe Mauer to keep it in front of him.
How about that? Well off the plate, but Kinsler waves at it for strikeout out number 2 in the 5th inning.
This pitch never started over the plate. That ball was off the plate from the minute it left his hand.
His 3rd strikeout, perhaps at a key time. Here's Andrus with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 away. Murphy started the inning with a single. Napoli was walked on 4 pitches.
Well, I think Andrus is going to make this kid throw strikes right here. Starts him off with a curveball just to get me over pitch. Was a good pitch. But Andrus is going to work this count because he knows he's got Josh Hamilton standing on deck. If he can extend the inning and get Hamilton to the plate, they can do some damage in this inning.
1 strike to Andrus. And a bouncer up the line, foul, 2 strikes. Duno got ahead of Kinsler 0-2 and then threw him the big breaking ball to get a swinging strike 3.
And again, this is where Duno has to trust that Maurer will keep the ball in front of him and not be afraid to bounce a breaking ball.
And Andrus does a nice job fighting that ball off.
That at home, folks, is called an emergency hack. And when you have a hitter at the plate that is known to do that, take emergency hacks, the hardest pitch in the world to guard against when you're in emergency mode is a fastball.
Two strikes to Andrus. Tamper to short. Dozier charges. Fires to Morneau, and the Rangers threaten but don't score, and Duno pumps his fist as he comes off the mound. Everything. It's the plan that revolves around you, only from Verizon. And by the Bourne Legacy, there was never just one. In theaters, August 10th. And the Jeep game summary with the Twins scoring first, the Rangers tying it on a Josh Hamilton home run. Samuel Duno getting the Twins through 5, and similarly Derek Holland getting the Rangers through 5 innings. He'll face Maurer to start the 6th. Ball 1. Maurer's walked twice, then Willingham, and then Morneau.
Well, I think what Ron Washington's looking to get out of Holland today, if he can get 6 innings, he's only throwing 75 pitches. He's got to navigate his way through the middle of this order right now and try and keep this game where it's at. If he can do that, I think we'll see action in the Ranger bullpen.
He's already walked Maurer twice tonight and falls behind him now 2-0. At the knees.
Joe Mauer is not a hitter you want to put in cripple counts, because then you got to come over the middle of the plate.
2-2. There are very few hitters. Mauer's one of them. There are very few hitters where the at-bat really just begins when there are 2 strikes.
Yeah, I mean, he's not scared to hit with 2 strikes.
Flare, short left. Murphy coming in, and he
What
makes
a
a
play.
diving catch. David Murphy lays out to take a hit away from Mauer.
And that right there is just a pitch that gets inside on Mauer. Big swing. Ball doesn't go very far, and Murph makes a great play on this. You look at him. The hardest ball to dive on is a ball that's in front of you.
She made the catch and then went into the dive. Willingham lifts it high and deep to center field. Gentry to the wall. It is gone. A home run. Willingham with his 19th. Willingham had hit a fly ball to center and struck out against Holland, and he teed off on the first pitch.
We're going to look at this pitch right here, and that's center cut up fastball. You cannot throw a fastball at 91 miles an hour up there and get it by a guy like Josh Willingham.
Warno takes a fastball and fouls it back. Warno with a pair of singles against Holland.
And if I'm a left-handed pitcher, and I see that Justin Morneau is hitting 106 against left-handers, I'm throwing him breaking balls. Holland has not thrown him a breaking ball today. Now again, there's another fastball.
Warno retired, out number 2. Want to win cool prizes, including a trip to the 2012 World Series. Just watch the All-Star game on Fox July 10th. Play All-Star Bingo, presented by Pepsi Max during the Midsummer Classic. And you could be on your way. Go to MLB.com/bingo to enter now. Here's Ryan Doman. Down low, ball 1. Doman doubled off the center field fence and then struck out on a breaking pitch in the 4th. Stroked solidly, but foul.
And that's
1-1.
Back-to-back changeups right there from Derek Holland.
Holland signed a 5-year deal with the Rangers in spring training. Fastball gets a swing and a miss.
And that's what I'm talking about fastballs up in the zone. You don't even have to throw 94, 95 to get balls by guys in the middle of the plate up like that. They just can't get to them.
Doman gets a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive.
Now, if I'm Derek Holland in this situation, he's thrown him 3 changeups and 1 fastball up. I'm reaching back and throwing a 4-seamer right at the catcher's mask, the top of Napoli's mask in the middle.
Two and 2. And a called 3rd strike. Doman loves to swing the bat, but he took a fastball down the middle. David Murphy with a great catch, but on the very next pitch, Josh Willingham puts the Twins in front.
The Braves and Phillies. Phillies starting the night 11 games under 500 for the first time since 2002. And after a 1-hour rain delay to start the game, the Phils get on the board with a Juan Pierre RBI double. Joe Blanton would follow an RBI bases loaded single, a part of a 3-1 Philly lead. We get you back out to Arlington and Dick and Mitch.
Thank you, Matt. Josh Hamilton, the last time he was up, tied the game at 2, and now he'll try to tie the game at 3, facing Samuel DeDuno. Up and away, ball 1.
That's the exact same pitch he started him off with last time, and then he came back with a hanging breaking ball, and Hamilton hit it out of the park.
Some great hitters here, but nobody's done what Hamilton has done. And now a ball rifled to right field, and Revere stumbled, staggered, lunged at the end, and he made the catch.
That looked like he hyperextended his knee when he did that. Watch his left knee when he makes this catch. This looks like he hyperextends his left knee. No, just caught it awkwardly.
All 3 balls that Hamilton has put in play here tonight have been absolutely creamed. He hit a liner that Revere had to retreat to the warning track on and made a catch. And I think there are his only 3 swings on the night. The home run might have been the least solidly hit one of the bunch.
Yeah. I mean, he smoked those 2 balls to right field, but he's just one of those guys that's rare.
Beltre lifts it high and deep to left, and it's Beltre who ties it at 3. Beltre's hit the ball hard a couple of times against Samuel DeDuno. Beltre's 15th of the year, and now Ron Gardenhire's coming out to make the pitching change. So Samuel DeDuno started the 6th inning. Twins were hoping they could get him through the 6th with the lead. Maybe he would be able to pick up his first major league win, but it's not to be, and he comes out in favor of Jeff Gray. Samuel DeDuno had a 1-2-3 first inning. It was his only 1-2-3 first inning. And he took the game into the 6th. Gave up a couple of home runs, one to Hamilton and now one in the 6th to Beltre. It's 3 apiece, and Jeff Gray comes in to face Nelson Cruz. Swing and a miss.
And we look at Gray's numbers on the year. 5-0 record. ERA is a little elevated, over 4. 33 games, 35 and a third innings pitched. He must have been on the right side of some comebacks.
Behind first, Revere running near the line, makes the catch, out number 2. So Gray bounced around a couple of organizations himself in relief of DeDuno in his first year with the Twins. We're talking about Ron Washington and what he was hoping to get from Derek Holland. I'm not sure the Twins were in position to ask much more from Samuel DeDuno than what they got tonight.
No, I think Ron Gardner's got to be really pleased with it. I mean, it's a shame. Yeah, he gave up the 2 home runs to Hamilton and Beltre, but he has nothing to hang his head over. There have been a lot of guys give up home runs to those 2 guys. I thought he pitched well enough to keep his team in the game against a tough lineup.
The Rangers to single runs in innings 2, 4, and 6. And Sheppers warming up for the Rangers. 1-0 to Michael Young. Bouncer to Plouffe. Borno misses a tag, and Plouffe will be charged with an error.
And you look at that play right there by Plouffe, and you think, did he get a little bit lackadaisical on it? Sitting up here in the booth, it looks like, okay, this is just a routine play. But to me, it looks like he didn't field the ball with any urgency. And anytime you change the routine and the way you do things, as you watch him, see, he thinks he's got all the time in the world and just kind of casts the ball over there. You make every play like you make it, like you got a burner going down the line.
Plouffe had some throwing issues as a shortstop, converted to a third baseman this year, and his throws have been very solid. Now this off the glove of Mauer, and Young will go to second base.
And now the go-ahead run standing out at second base when the Twins should be in the dugout hitting. That ball, I don't know what that pitch was, but it just kept fading away from Mauer.
A wild pitch. Charge to Gray. Now a hit to the outfield. Might give the Rangers their first lead of the night. Murphy singled and got as far as third base his last time up. Popped up foul and into the seats. Plouffe's throwing has been much better as a third baseman than what the Twins saw as a shortstop. And now Gray's hoping that the third baseman's throwing error doesn't give the Rangers a run.
Well, and this is where Gray has got to pick up his teammate. I'm not impressed by when you look at a pitcher's stat line and you see a bunch of unearned runs. That tells me that he's not. Every team is going to have errors that are made. The good pitchers, they don't make those, let those runs score. They bear down and pick up their teammates.
Ron Washington talked about that with us this afternoon, how when things were going good for the Rangers, when there would be an error, the pitchers would pick the guys up. And he says now in this little 5-game skid that they've had, an error such as Napoli's last night has cost the Rangers a couple of runs. So now Gray trying to keep that from happening. And it's 1-2 to Murphy.
And that's what you have to do as a pitcher, because you have to expect the fact players are going to make physical errors every now and then. It's incumbent upon you as the pitcher to not let it hurt you and bear down and get this out.
1-2 to David Murphy. 2-2.
And David Murphy's a guy that when he falls behind in the count, he is not going to go up there now and look to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's going to protect, look to put the ball in play, because he knows anything put in play that falls is a run. You see that right there, that emergency hack.
To protect the outside corner, 2-2.
Could get a W out of this.
A quality start. Young at second after the Plouffe error. Gray delivers another 2-2 pitch. Back to the mound. Gray underhands it to Morneau, and the error does no damage. The pitcher picks up the third baseman, but the Rangers tie the game. Is presented by Budweiser. We are tied at 3, and the Rangers go to their bullpen. Tanner Scheppers, who relieved last night in the 7th inning, comes in again tonight in the 7th inning.
Well, he has one job: keep the game where it's at.
And he did not do that last night. Justin Morneau hit a home run against him. He struck out Trevor Plouffe last night in the 7th inning, and it's Plouffe leading off the 7th here tonight. And a breaking pitch, fouled back. It'll be the bottom third of the Twins lineup: Plouffe, Dozier, and Carroll. What has happened over the last couple of weeks on a regular basis for the Twins, when Josh Willingham has tied Plouffe for the team lead in home runs, and Willingham did that earlier tonight with his 19th. Plouffe is followed almost immediately with another home run.
Well, he's had a remarkable stretch that he's gone through.
He was with the team out of spring training, but was a man without a position. Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, has fallen ill, and we're going to have a little bit of a delay here. Foster, we were told innings ago, was not feeling well. And so it looks as if third base umpire Eric Cooper, who had the plate last night, is I would guess it would be the second base umpire Jeff Kellogg, who will probably put the umpiring equipment on. But Marty Foster has tried to fight through an illness, and it finally is caught up with him here in the 7th inning. Time for the Just for Men auto stop foolproof stat involving Adrian Beltre, who tied the game with a home run.
And that's a definition of back-legging one.
And as the Rangers can count on Adrian Beltre, you can count on Just for Men auto stop for foolproof results.
You can also count on somebody on that team touching him on his head after he hits a home run, because he hates people touching his head. And they do it just to antagonize him.
Well, we certainly wish the best for Marty Foster, and we anticipate Jeff Kellogg, who is the crew chief and the second base umpire. He's scrambling to get the home plate umpiring gear on. That's Eric Cooper talking to Ron Gardenhire.
You watch right here what I'm talking about. Watch is coming up right here. They're going to touch him on his head. See that? He did not like that at all. He does not like people touching his head. So somebody, every time he hits a homer, someone's going to touch him on the head.
So while we wait for Jeff Kellogg to put on the home plate umpiring gear, take a look at the baseball schedule next week. The first Saturday after the break, it'll be the Tigers against the Orioles, Cardinals and the Reds, a heated National League rivalry, and then the Mets and the Braves. Moving back to the afternoon time slot for Fox Saturday Baseball. Tigers held on to win today with Jose Valverde giving up 3 runs in the 9th, but the Tigers had a 4-run lead. We'll come back to Arlington, Texas with the resumption of this game. a reconfiguration of umpires here. Marty Foster's left because of illness. Yu Darvish will be heading to the All-Star game after winning the final fan vote. Darvish 10-5 in his first year in the United States. An ERA of 3.59 and 117 strikeouts, third in the American League. We each had a chance to congratulate Darvish today in the Texas clubhouse. Should be a big thrill for him going to Kansas City and being around that environment, the best baseball players in the United States.
Absolutely.
All-Star game festivities continue Monday with the Home Run Derby on ESPN, and on Tuesday see the players arrive on the red carpet show on MLB Network, followed by the 2012 All-Star game here on Fox at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 4:30 Pacific. So we will be working with 3 umpires, and again pass along our very best wishes for Marty Foster. We hope it's nothing more than the intense heat here in Texas that got to him. Jeff Kellogg will be behind the plate. Chris Conroy at first. Eric Cooper, who had the plate last night, is manning the other line. Plouffe chops it up the line, and it'll trickle foul.
And that's one of those balls as a third baseman. If there's a guy in the game that could have made that play if it stayed there, it's that man right there, Beltre. But he knows that he has no chance of getting Plouffe. So you just let the ball roll out.
Plouffe drove in a run with a ground ball. He actually hit one right up the middle, and Derek Holland fanned on fielding it. The ball rolled through to Kinsler, and Morneau scored the first run of the game. Fouled back by Plouffe. Plouffe not getting a chance to play much, but then when given the job at third base, he's really responded. And it's one of those situations, Mitch, where Danny Valencia, who had played third base for the Twins the last 2 years, if he so much as hit .250 this year, Plouffe may never have gotten his chance. Valencia sent down to AAA, and Plouffe to left. Murphy lays it on a hop, and a long at bat by Plouffe. Time-wise, ends up with a leadoff single.
And to your point about Valencia, you're right. If Valencia just hits a little bit, he isn't going anywhere. And you don't get the opportunity to see Plouffe hit 19 home runs. And now you start to wonder, will you ever see Danny Valencia in a Twins uniform again?
Hitting in the 240s in AAA. Here's Dozier.
Wow.
And ball one outside.
Ball one right down the middle.
Robbie Ross, who's had a very good first year with the Rangers, warming up. Twins again have those 3 lefties hitting 1, 2, 3. Dozier's hitting 8th.
And I really like Robbie Ross. He's a young kid, 23 years old, but he gets it. He knows what he's doing when he comes out of that bullpen.
1-0, and Plouffe takes off. The ball hit back to the pitcher, and it's a 1-4-3 double play. Plouffe took off and was still doubled up.
Well, that was a hit and run. When you can turn a double play with a hit and run on, that's a great job by Sheppers, the pitchers, to get rid of this ball.
Dozier tried to hit the ball through the right side. He ended up instead hitting a comebacker. 2 down, and here's Carroll.
And again, you see the center fielder Gentry move over, shading the right field and in.
Carroll takes low. Carroll's had a tough couple of weeks. The batting average down into the 230s. And he grounds this one past Beltre, and he'll have an extra base hit. So Carroll pulls into second with a 2-out double, and that gets Span to the plate and might precipitate a move by Ron Washington.
And that right there, had Sheppers not gotten the out at second base, this is a 4-3 ball game right now.
So with the go-ahead run in scoring position, Ron Washington will come out to the mound, bring in Ross to face Denard Span. And Robbie Ross, who's been absolutely lights out for the Rangers as of late, will come in and try to strand Jamie Carroll at second base.
I mean, you look at those numbers. It's one thing. You got a .99 ERA over 10 innings. That's 45 in the third. He's 6-0. I had the opportunity to talk to this young man down in the clubhouse before the game, and he's having a ball.
Carroll is at second, 2 away. Span is 1 for 3. One of the reasons the Twins start their lineup most nights with 3 left-handed batters. All 3 of them, Span, Revere, and Mauer, do well against left-handed pitching. And the pitch is up. You were talking about Derek Holland and the amount of sock that he has showing. How about the stirrups for Robbie Ross?
Yeah, that's old school right there.
1-0 to Span. Line foul.
That's actually how the original baseball uniform was designed to be worn. And now we see some guys, their pants look like slacks.
Those are the real stirrups too. Those aren't the painted on stirrup style socks.
You got the sanitary sock, the stirrup.
1-1, and Span takes a strike on the inside corner.
Span didn't like the call, but that's a strike.
In his last 14 outings, Ross has pitched 21 scoreless innings.
Well, and now he can go to a breaking ball. He can elevate his fastball.
One and 2 to Denard Span. That's chopped up the line. Now, no relief pitchers pitched as many innings as Ross, and that might be a concern as we roll over into the second half of the year. Ross has thrown 45 1/3 innings in his 32 games. But if you're Ron Washington, how do you not use a guy when he's game in and game out been so effective for you?
Well, you have to. It's much like the situation Freddie Gonzalez was put in last year in Atlanta. People were very critical. As we look at Ross spin this ball, and we're going to see where he ends up with it in his hand, and I'll tell you what he's going to throw. It looks like he went to a four-seam grip there, and he did and tried to elevate. But
2-2.
Back to your point about overusing him, I don't believe in overusing. I know personally, if I had 2 or 3 days off, I lost velocity. As we watch Ross spin that ball, I couldn't tell right there.
He strikes out Span. Carroll is left at second base, and we're still tied at 3. Budweiser is sponsored by the makers of Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of MLB, and by Samsung. The next big thing is here. Moving now to the bottom of the 7th inning in a tie game. Twins got the first couple of runs. We'll take a look at our recap so far. Let's see, Derek Holland unable to catch that comebacker to the mound. That led to 2 Twins runs. Cruz golfed a second inning double to left center. That scored Adrian Beltre. And the Rangers tied it. Josh Hamilton on a breaking pitch, lifting it over the seats and left. Josh Willingham with a homer to center in the top of the 6th. But 2 batters into the bottom of the inning. Adrian Beltre tied it up. Jeff Gray did a nice job getting the Twins off the field in the bottom of the 6th. Then he'll start the bottom of the 7th. And we'll take a look at the in-game box score, brought to you by Lexus. Middle of the lineup, a productive night for the Rangers.
Yeah, and the top of the order not being on base, the Hamilton home run, solo home run, the Beltre home run, a solo home run. That's why the top of that Texas order is so important, because the damage the middle of the order can do, you want guys on base.
If you ascribe to the theory that a slumping hitter will get out of the slump when he starts drawing walks, there's hope for Mike Napoli. He's walked twice tonight.
Well, that means he's seeing the ball.
Take strike one from Gray.
And the worst thing you can do, especially when you're slumping, is swing at a first pitch breaking ball. And he took that pitch. It was called strike, but you don't want to hit a pitch. You don't want to hit a breaking ball first pitch.
Nice backhand pickup by Plouffe, and a perfect throw across the diamond. A top spin smash off the bat of Napoli. Plouffe turns it into an out.
And watch the difference here of the great play, and he comes up and gets rid of the ball. He doesn't take that extra crow hop because he thinks he's got time. He makes a great play on it on the backhand and comes up, gets his grip on the ball, a four-seam grip, and fires it. Doesn't lob it, throws a BB over to first.
One down, and here's Gentry. Driven to center. Span over a few steps. Two down. Today's game is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. And by the Lexus CT Hybrid. Miles from ordinary. Two down in the Texas seventh. Ian Kinsler will bat against Jeff Gray. Again this year, the Rangers fattened up in interleague play, a major league best 14-4 against National League teams. And again, they've led the division from the very beginning till now, with the exception of 48 hours. Check swing and a foul. They got a piece of Mauer. 1-1.
Well, they've had injuries, but this team has depth. And that's one thing Ron Washington has. He's got the ability to withstand some injuries on his, whether it's in his pitching staff or in his starting lineup. They have depth.
1-1. And a 1-2. Rangers had only hit 2 home runs over their last 8 games, and they've hit a pair tonight against Twins pitching. Adams warming up in the Texas bullpen. Into center field. Kinsler gets his first hit, and it comes with 2 outs in the 7th. You saw Alex Burnett and Tyler Robertson warming up in the Twins pen. Andrus will get his at bat here against Gray, and then if Hamilton comes up this inning, we might expect the left-hander Robertson to come in to face Hamilton.
I think you can take the might right out of that.
Andrus is 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play with a comebacker, struck out, hit a ground ball to short.
And when you got a guy on the mound like Robbie Ross right now, who's 6-0 in a tie game, that leads me to believe that the Rangers are going to throw a point up here in the next inning. You don't get to 6-0 without having a little bit of luck and the team throwing up runs when you come in.
Gray got the last 2 outs of the 6th, first 2 of the 7th, and if he's going to complete the 7th inning, he'll probably have to get Andrus here. And time called.
I say that about Robbie Ross because back in '91, in the month of August, I was 8-1 with 5 saves. I came into tie games, and every time I walked on the field, the team scored.
The lefty Robertson, the righty Burnett are ready. Kinsler checked it first. Kinsler with 15 steals, one off the team lead held by the batter Andrus. Kinsler's been thrown out 6 times.
Well, this is a place where you're going to expect Kinsler to try and run, because if he can get in scoring position with Andrus up, even if he gets thrown out, you got Elvis leading the inning off next inning with Josh Hamilton coming up after. So I would look for Kinsler in the next 2 pitches to be on the move.
One and one from Gray. Another check of Kinsler.
The thing Gray doesn't want to get into a sequence where he throws over, then throws to the plate, throws over, then throws to the plate. And that's what he's done so far. So if I'm Kinsler right here, this is where I'm looking to run.
He stays put. The ball controlled by Maurer. He didn't catch it, but he kept it within range, and Kinsler thought about advancing but opted not to. 2-1.
And Kinsler made the right decision too, because he'd have been out. You see how quick Joe Maurer gets out of that crouch and gets on this ball? Kinsler would have been out. He took that one jab step back towards first, and as soon as he did that, he had no chance of getting second. I would bet Gray's going to throw over to first right here, because if I'm Kinsler, I'm running.
And now 2-2. Gray part of a remade Twins bullpen. Jared Burton added. Matt Capps re-signed. Capps hopes to rejoin the team after the All-Star break. Casey Fiend pitching out of the bullpen now. Anthony Swarzak, Kyle Waldrop.
The guy's stuff who I really like is Perkins.
2-2. On the line foul. Perkins and Burton sharing the closing role for the Twins right now, until Capps gets back and gets ramped back up to a closer capacity.
And I think Gardy's going to be faced with a tough decision. I really do, because if Perkins can find a home in that closer role, he has the kind of stuff to dominate hitters.
2-2 to Elvis Andrus. Bounce right side. Carroll deflects it. Kinsler will scamper to third, and Hamilton will get his chance with 2 men aboard. Not hit well at all. And Carroll tried to catch it, but off the thumb of his glove into short right field, and Hamilton will come up with 2 men aboard. Ron Gardenhire coming out to make the pitching change. And Hamilton, whatever he does, he'll do it against left-hander Tyler Robertson. Rangers threatening to take their first lead. tied at 3. Joe Mauer headed to the All-Star game. So is Nelson Cruz. Josh Hamilton has homered already. The first major league start for Samuel Deduno. Some good defense. Some big plays in a tie ball game. And some big at-bats, and this might be the biggest one of them all here with Tyler Robertson coming out of the Twins' pen to pitch to Josh Hamilton with runners at first and third and 2 down.
And the thing Robertson's got to avoid right here, you got a guy like Josh Hamilton at the plate, you want to make every pitch perfect.
In Robertson's last game, he was pitching to Prince Fielder, and he threw one good breaking pitch, and he hung the next one, and Fielder hit a 3-run home run.
And that's what you're thinking about here. The ball, the slider in the dirt, runner on third. I mean, there's all kinds of things that come into play right here.
Down and away, ball 1.
This will be Robertson's only hitter. With Beltre standing on deck.
Hamilton has put 3 good swings on the ball in this game, hitting the ball hard all 3 times. 1-0. 2-0.
Yeah, Robertson's in no hurry to throw him a fastball right here. That's the old meeting on the mound, but Gardy brings him in. And, okay, don't walk him, but don't give him anything to hit.
With second base open and Beltre on deck.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those situations where I think Robertson knows this is his only hitter. You can't give in right here. You know Hamilton's got the green light. Throw him a breaking ball and hope he gets himself out.
Checked his swing. An appeal down the line, but there's no longer an umpire there. So Eric Cooper says no swing, and Hamilton takes a 4-pitch walk from Robertson. And Alex Burnett will come in to try to get the Twins off the field and keep this a 3-3 game. Adrian Beltre has other notions. For the Texas Rangers, Alex Burnett was almost that good for the Twins until his last outing. Had a tough game against the Tigers. And so his ERA, the highest it's been in quite some time. And he comes into a critical spot with Adrian Beltre at the dish. The base is loaded and 2 away.
And that's the thing, as a reliever, you have to have a short memory. Yesterday doesn't mean a thing. It's all about the good, bad, or indifferent. Yesterday means nothing. It's all about today. And he's brought in, as you said, this is a tough spot, facing a better than 300 hitter.
And he delivers strike 1. The first 2 outs came easily here. Napoli bounced to third. Plouffe with a nice play, but it was a quick first out. Gentry with a fly to center, and then Kinsler got his single. Andrus got a single. Hamilton walked on 4 pitches. So they're loaded up. 1 strike to Beltre. Inside, up around the hands.
Adrian doing a little 2-stepping up there at the plate.
Rangers trying to end a 5-game losing streak, their longest losing streak of the year. Chopper to third. Plouffe fields a tough hop and fires to Morneau.
That was a really, really good play. That ball had a lot of top spin on it.
2 good plays by Plouffe in a scoreless 7th inning. In America is presented by Budweiser. We've got a tie game going to the 8th inning. Robbie Ross will face Ben Revere leading off the Twins' 8th. He'll be followed by Mauer and Willingham. Pitches up. Ball 1.
Well, Robbie Ross is charged with keeping the game where it is and getting his lineup back in there to hit.
Revere hitting over 400 against lefties, but he's 0 for 4 against them tonight. 1 down. And that'll bring up Mauer. Ross had 4 wins in his first 6 games this year, 2 of them against the Twins in Minnesota back in April.
Well, and when you're a pitcher like him at 23 years old, your biggest weapon is confidence. and he's chock full of confidence right now. He thinks everything's going his way. And when you're feeling that way as a pitcher, things tend to go your way.
Ball at the knees. Mauer walked twice and hit a fly ball to left against Derek Holland. Breaking ball wide of the plate.
Yeah, he started Mauer with a fastball. Now he went to a slider. The game has become so specialized that if you're a left-hander, you better have a good breaking ball coming out of that pen. Back inside with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, you look at this kid, he's not scared, and that's the biggest thing.
Two and one. Missing inside, 3-1.
It appears that he knows his hitters because he's trying to stay in on Joe Mauer because he knows Joe Mauer likes to shoot the ball the other way.
Mauer draws his third walk of the night. And he'll be aboard for Willingham. Willingham, a couple of at-bats against Ross, a single and a strikeout. And Willingham hit his 19th home run of the year to center field with 1 out in the 6th in his last at-bat. And ball 1, and Napoli will run the ball back to the mound.
And Napoli is going out there simply to give him a breath. Okay, you're in a situation here. You got the first out of the inning. Settle back down and understand what you need to get done here with Willingham.
Willingham's got a great slugging percentage against left-handed pitching this year. His home run against Holland in the 6th, his 11th home run in 78 at-bats against left-handed pitching. Takes inside off the plate again, 2-0.
Wow, that's a good pitch right there. That pitch had to cross the plate. It ended up off the plate in, but when it went across the plate, it was a strike.
And Willingham takes a strike on the outside corner.
And Ross here has to, okay, what is his strength? What is Willingham's strength? It's to pull the ball. So stay on the outer third of the plate.
Inside, 3-1 with Morneau on deck. Ross pretty good about throwing strikes. The walk to Mauer was just his 9th unintentional walk of the year. And swings through a 94-mile-per-hour heater.
And you look at this, and you hear me talk all the time about elevating in the middle. That pitch is right down the middle of the plate, but it's up. It looks good to hitters. They can't lay off it. They can lay off up and away and up and in because they can recognize those.
And Willingham got a piece to stay alive.
And I actually talked to Ross about this before the game, about walking the ladder on guys. And if he'll swing at that high pitch, let's see if he can go higher. If it's in the middle and it's up, he's going to go after it.
Fastballs ticking downward, 94, 93, 92, and 91.
Well, you have a left-hander and Morneau standing on deck. If I'm Ross, I'm reaching back and grunting right here and turning loose a fastball up.
Full count to Willingham. That's lifted down the right field line and into the seats. 3 2-strike fouls in this battle with Ross. Another 3-2. And he missed wide. Back-to-back walks. And now Morneau will come up with 2 men aboard. Ross, who again came into the game with just 9 unintentional walks, has issued a walk to both Mauer and Willingham.
And Maddox is going to go out to the mound here again just to give him a breather. He may see something in his delivery where he's rushing. And what I mean by rushing, his lower half is drifting down the mound before his arm can get in a position to release the ball.
I mean, he just turned 23 years of age 2 weeks ago. And he'll face a former league MVP, Morneau, who may be showing some signs of life against left-handed pitching.
Well, both his hits off Holland tonight were fastballs. Holland didn't throw him any breaking balls. When you have a left-handed hitter that's struggling at the plate against left-handers, 9 out of 10 times it's because of the breaking ball that they're struggling.
Morneau lifts it foul down the left field line. 1 strike.
And now he's ahead. Now you got to start breaking balling.
Mauer at second, Willingham at first. They've each drawn a walk here against Ross. Will be a double play grounder. Kinsler to Andrus. And Ross gets out of it. That's his specialty. That's why he's 6-0. As a relief pitcher, he's got 10 ground ball double plays. Is sponsored by the makers of Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of MLB, and by Samsung. The next big thing is here. To the bottom of the 8th inning now. The Twins had a threat. Ross got another double play grounder, and Nelson Cruz will lead off the 8th against Alex Burnett. Down and in, ball 1.
At this point in the game, for Burnett, first out is crucial.
We can see it up here. The infield grass is so much thicker and taller than the outfield grass here. That would have been a double play in all likelihood anyway, but my goodness, Morneau hit a grounder and it snaked its way through that infield grass right to Kinsler. A little bit different infield than the one you played on here years ago.
Oh, it was like a
Deep to the right field corner, slicing foul, and not by much. Cruz with a high fly down the line, and it just missed the foul pole.
Yeah, this ball is really close to being a home run.
Oh,
it had the distance. It looked like it missed it by about a foot. And to your point about the grass, yes, back when I played here, it was like playing on a pool table.
1-2, Burnett to Cruz.
And Nelson Cruz is not a guy that's going to shorten his swing with 2 strikes. And Burnett's got that split.
Man,
there it
strikes
was.
him out. So Burnett got the last out of the 7th, gets the first out, a strikeout of Cruz, and that'll bring up Michael Young.
And we look at this pitch right here. The great thing about a split finger, the thought process in the pitcher's mind, nothing changes. With a circle change, the grip is different. I mean, all that. With a split, all you're doing is splitting your fingers and throwing a fastball. So your thought process is the same. And then the bottom just falls out of it, as you saw right there.
Young 0 for 3, reached on a poof error his last time up. Off the plate, ball 1.
And Michael off to a slow start for his standards, certainly. And I look at him, he's an inside-out hitter. And he's standing off the plate. You look how far off the plate he's standing. Pitches are just going to stay away from him.
Plouffe goes to his left, comes up firing. Good play by Trevor Plouffe, a throwing error back in the 6th inning during the Young at bat. And since then, Plouffe has come up with 3 outstanding plays.
And these are reaction plays. You don't have time. A player's worst enemy is his brain. That right there is strictly reaction. You got to dive, get up, and get rid of it. Your brain doesn't have time to get involved.
So 2 outs here in the 8th, and that'll bring up David Murphy. Murphy had a good month of June for the Rangers. Checks his swing, and
oh wow,
strike 1.
I'm not sure if Murph went on that. It's hard for us to tell on that front view for the center field camera.
The home plate umpire now is Jeff Kellogg. He was at second base, and with nobody on base, the other 2 umpires are on the baselines. Fastball on the outside corner, 0-2.
And now David Murphy has no idea right now what he's going to get. He's gotten a split first pitch, fastball second pitch. Now the pitcher, it used to be you'd throw a pitch to set up another one. But with the pitch count, so many pitchers think they have to get the at bat over in 3 pitches. I've seen more 0-2, 1-2 base hits and home runs this year. That's another reason I hate the pitch count.
2 strikes to Murphy.
I was always taught the objective is to get the hitter out. If it takes you 1 pitch or 15.
And then a breaking pitch off the plate.
He's going with a fastball.
Just off the corner, 2-2.
Joe Mauer subtly trying to pull that pitch back over the plate.
Rangers left the bases full in the 7th thanks to Burnett. Now Burnett trying to back it up with a 1-2-3/8. And a foul.
David Murphy doing a good job fighting off these good pitchers' pitches. That was a good pitch right there, up and in.
Another 2-2. And another foul ball.
And this will start to get to the point where, is Burnett going to get impatient, or is he going to keep trying to make pitchers pitches? They're going with, he spun the index finger sinker.
And another foul. And Murphy 1-2 strike foul after another here.
And this is what David Murphy does. He gives you quality at bats. He makes the pitchers work.
Three and two. Napoli on deck.
This went from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count.
With a whole handful of foul balls mixed in between.
And they're going fastball here, and he can't just give up and throw it down the middle.
And he missed. So Burnett walks Murphy, and Napoli will have an opportunity here. Napoli drew a couple of walks against Samuel Deduno. And Napoli has struggled so mightily against left-handers, but the Twins really don't have a lefty to counter here. It would seem odd that Napoli, a right-handed batter, would struggle so much against lefties, but he's held his own against right-handers. He hit .319 last year against lefties and is hitting about half of that this year. But the Twins have already used Tyler Robertson, and the other lefty they have is their co-closer, Glenn Perkins.
Well, a lot of times a right-hander, if he's struggling against left-handers, he's pulling off the ball. And right-handers, he knows he's got to stay on the ball.
Murphy goes, and he steals second. Burnett didn't give him a look. And the go-ahead runs in scoring position.
And the sad part about this right here, this is a perfect pitch for Mauer to throw on. But the fact that Murphy gets such a good jump because Burnett does not make him stop his feet at first base, Mauer has no chance. You hear all the time they stole that base on the pitcher. Well, they absolutely did right there.
1-0 to Napoli. Two 2-0. Napoli drew his 2 walks, and then he hit a smash backhanded by Plouffe for the first out of the 7th inning.
And you're talking about him walking to get him out of this funk. Tonight, he's seeing the ball extremely well.
Dangerous pitch from Burnett to Napoli. Missed inside. First base, of course, now open, and Gentry in the on-deck circle. Well, in the top of this inning, Robbie Ross, who has shown good control this year, pitched out of a situation after issuing back-to-back walks. And now Burnett, who's shown pretty good control in his major league career, walks back-to-back guys. So first and second, 2 down for Gentry. Coming up on Tuesday, don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game, Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central.
It's an exciting game. It means something now. I don't know how you feel about this, but I love the fact that the fans get to vote their favorite players on the team. But now that it has such huge meaning, home field advantage in a World Series is a huge advantage. I think the fans ought to be able to vote their guys on, but depending on the starting pitcher, the managers ought to be able to select the starting lineup.
Well, that manager would be Ron Washington. He's more concerned about the game here tonight, hoping Gentry can help end a 5-game losing streak. Ball 1. So the Murphy at bat, whether it has had a wilting effect on Burnett, I don't know, but he didn't throw a strike to Napoli. And he's delivered ball 1 to Gentry.
And these are the kind of guys that are tough, because Gentry's not up there looking to hit the ball out of the park. He's up there looking to hit the ball up the middle.
A called strike, 1-1. A walk filled the bases in the 7th, and Burnett came in to get the final out. Now he's trying to finish off business here in the 8th inning. Nice block by Mauer. 2-1.
That's a great job by Joe Mauer right there. The toughest pitch for a catcher to block is a slider, because it hits and spins back the other direction, as you saw that ball do.
Holland gave the Rangers 6 innings. Two and 1 to Gentry. Bouncer up the line, foul.
That ball was off his thumbs. You're taught in this game to never make the third out, first or third out at third base. But you look how spread out the middle infielders are. No one's holding Murphy on. Plouffe is playing deep at third. Murph could steal third standing up right here.
Two and 2 to Gentry. To center field. Dozier makes the catch over his shoulder. Rangers have a great lineup. You're told not to walk them. The Rangers have taken 6 walks and none of them have scored. be a save situation anymore. So Ron Washington going to his closer, former Twin Joe Nathan. They asked Ron Washington what it meant to have a healthy and a dominant Joe Nathan on his staff this year, and in one word he said everything.
Exactly.
Ryan Doumit takes strike one.
Joe Nathan was the guy up in Minnesota that you didn't hear much about because he's up in Minnesota. But one of the top 5 closers in the game easily over the past 5 or 6 years before his elbow surgery.
Blew out his elbow at the age of 35 and has worked his way back. Doumit off the end of the bat. Pre-surgery, he went to 4 All-Star games as a Twin, and now he's going to the All-Star game as a Texas Ranger. Franchise record 260 saves for Minnesota.
I mean, look at that save. 41 saves a season from 04 to 09 he averaged.
1-2 to Ryan Doumit. High fly down the left field line. That's going to be trouble. And it's going to drop. Doumit goes to second with a pop fly double.
There's no one at
There's Napoli scampering up the baseline to cover third base. Doumit had thoughts of expanding that to a triple, but a little pop fly down the line, and Murphy was over in left center. And the left side infielders couldn't get there either.
That ball was in the air forever right there. I think if Andrus had reached for that ball, he was there.
Beltre had taken himself out of the play. He was looking at Andrus, and Andrus never looked up for the ball.
I mean, if Elvis Andrus sticks his glove out, and you look at Joe Nathan, he realized there's no one at third.
So now Trevor Plouffe at the plate. Darren Mastroianni is the pinch runner. Corner infielders playing in a little bit, middle infielders back. And Plouffe fouls it away.
Well, in most situations, Ron Gardenhire, being a guy that is a really fundamental manager, would have Plouffe bunting. But as hot as he's been swinging the bat, you don't have him bunt.
19 home runs on the season, tied with Willingham for the team lead. And Nathan has him in an 0-2 hole.
And I think this is what the Rangers saw at the end of last year out of Joe Nathan. He started to get his arm speed back. And then earlier in the year this year, he was down around 90, 91 with his fastball. His slider didn't have that great bite to it because the arm speed wasn't there. Now that arm speed's back, his fastball's at 95, and his slider is unhittable. When it's down,
Plouffe chips it to Young. Made contact, cracked his bat, and Young, on the edge of the outfield dirt, makes an over-the-shoulder catch, one away.
that ball's a foot and a half off the plate away. We're going to look at this pitch, and it's unbelievable. Plouffe even for him to even get a piece of that ball is amazing. Nice play by Michael Young.
Mastroianni still at second base. Here's Dozier. The rookie's gone 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Just punching the ball to right field. Blocked nicely by Napoli. Ball 1.
And here's that pitch right here to Plouffe. Look how far off the plate this ball is.
The Twins have got a pop fly double down the left field line. Almost got a pop fly single over the head of Young. 1 down and 1-0 to Dozier. Rangers fielders need to keep an eye on Mastroianni. He's been a base stealing threat for the Twins, and Nathan does just that.
And that's all you want to do. If you're the pitcher, just let that base runner know you're aware he's out there. And just something as simple as that little inside move will make that runner hesitate.
Kinsler playing a little closer to the second base bag. Pop straight up and out of play.
That was back towards us. I was looking to make a play.
1-1. Carroll on deck. Mastroianni dives back with a fake throw. Hit to the outfield would score Mastroianni. He's one of the fastest players in the league.
Well, and Joe Nathan knows that.
There he goes to third, and the pitch popped up. Mastroianni goes into a head-first slide and now has to hustle back to second base.
Well, it's a good thing that the pitch was popped up because he had that base swiped.
So 2 down.
Yeah, you can see right there. There's no chance that Napoli could have thrown him out in that situation.
Kinsler talking over with Nathan where he's going to play here for Carroll, who is, although he pulled a double down the left field line, known for his opposite field hitting. Carroll's also 2 for 3 in his career against Nathan.
And with Joe Nathan's velocity back up around 95, I'm shifting my outfield. My left fielder Murphy, I'm going to move him over. Their center fielder's already moved over and in like he's been the whole day. I would move Murph even more into the left center field gap.
Carroll pulled a double down the left field line his last time up. Now they'll appeal at third base, thinking that Mastroianni had slid past the bag and did not retouch, and going back to second. Appeal denied.
You see him slide into third here. He did. The Rangers were right there.
And remembering that we are an umpire short.
Yeah.
Not sure that Eric Cooper was in position to see that Mastroianni slid past the bag and did not retouch.
Watch right here. He's going to slide. He goes by his left foot, clears the bag this side of the third base. He has to retouch third before he goes back to second.
Called strike 1 and 1 to Carroll.
That almost looked like a cross up right there between Napoli and Nathan, the way Mike Napoli caught that pitch.
Those numbers accumulated when both players were playing for different teams. There's the inside move again to try to keep Mastroianni honest.
Well, you can see both middle infielders are playing deep. There's really no way he can make a pickoff attempt here. Neither one of the middle infielders can get to the bag. There he goes.
Mastroianni to third. Carroll swings and misses. And it's 1 and 2.
And people at home think that that's an insignificant stolen base. It is, unless Joe Nathan bounces a breaking ball that gets to the backstop.
Well, the Rangers all but gave it to him, though, as you said, pointing to middle infielders, playing them off the bag. 1-2 to Carroll. Very high and away. Now, one of Nathan's best pitches here in Texas and with the Twins was a breaking pitch in the dirt.
Yep. And you really have to have trust in your catcher to keep the ball in front.
Two and two. The handle of the bat foul.
That, and as a pitcher, you don't want to think like a pitcher. You want to think like a hitter. And you can't tell me Jamie Carroll's up there in this situation looking for fastballs. He's looking for that breaking ball.
Another 2-2.
And there it was. Perfect.
Nathan survives a pop fly double to start the inning, and we go to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 3. Tied at 3. Ron Washington, one of the more energetic managers in the game. And that's something you will not see Jim Leland do.
No. I'm not sure Leland could do that.
Well, we've got a good ball game here, and both teams working through their bullpens. The Rangers brought their closer out. The Twins have brought out their co-closer. In the absence of Matt Capps, Jared Burton will come in to face a couple of right-handed batters, Kinsler and Andrus. And Burton has been a godsend for the Twins as they tried to patch up a leaky bullpen from a year ago. Burton's been outstanding. Perkins has been good. Burnett's been very good.
Well, and that's what you have to hope for if you're Ron Gardenhire. When your bullpen gets blown up, you have to hope that there's going to be a couple of guys that step into roles that they're unaccustomed to being in and excel at. And that's what he's found in Burton and Perkins.
Kinsler will lead things off. And a first pitch strike. Rangers haven't seen much of Burton. He's got a fastball that will get average around 94 miles per hour. And a circle change that drops straight down.
That's his changeup right there.
0-2. The problem with the Twins, as we said before, hasn't been the relief pitching. It's been the starting pitching. The bullpen has been very, very good. 2 strikes to Kinsler. 1-2.
And that's that changeup. That was a much better changeup than the one he threw the previous pitch. That definitely had the dive tooth that you were talking about.
Kinsler singled, made it as far as third base in the 7th inning. Rangers have left 8 men on over the last 4 innings.
Mauer's calling for a slider here. I'm not sure Burton wanted to throw it. No, he's going with the changeup.
And that's what has happened so often to right-handed batters with Burton on the mound.
And you told me that he throws a circle change, but it reacts like a split the way it goes down. That absolutely looks like a split finger.
So 1 down.
We're going to take a look at the grip if we can freeze it at the top. See, there it is. There's a circle grip. I've never seen a guy throw a circle change where the ball goes straight down like that.
So 1 down, and here's Andrews. He bounces it foul. Andrews singled his last time up. That foul ball might have gotten a piece of Mauer. Replacement home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg giving Mauer a little time to recover. Jesus Montero of the Mariners had to leave the ball game the other day because he took a foul tip on the mask and suffered some concussion-like symptoms. 1 strike to the Texas shortstop.
Rangers hitters just cannot get a read on this changeup at all.
Two strikes to Andrews. Nearly hit him. 1-2.
And he throws it hard. That's 87 miles an hour.
Burton had some shoulder issues last year, so the Twins have treated him carefully. Pitched him in back-to-back days a few times. 1-2. Another foul ball off the leg of Mauer.
Well, you see the really defensive swings he's getting out of these Rangers hitters, and that's what he wants. If you can control the hitter's bat speed, you can control the hitter.
Two and two.
I'm not sure he's throwing. I don't think he's throwing a fastball yet. Sliders and changeups.
2-2. Struck him out on the changeup. 2 down. And now Hamilton with the bases empty.
You watch this ball, the bottom just fall out of that. And that will be really surprising to me if Hamilton gets a pitch he can even reach.
He's, I think, swung just 3 times today, and the ball has been crushed each time. A line drive to the warning track almost over Revere's head in the first inning. A home run to left in the 4th. And then a liner to the gap that Revere intercepted in the 6th.
Well, and that ball down right here, that changeup down right here, That's in Josh's wheelhouse. Most left-handed hitters are low ball, down and in hitters.
Ball one, and of course Hamilton, who's never faced Burton, has been watching all these changeups dive down. One and 0. Inside 2 and 0.
Well, Burton's put himself in a position now. You don't give him anything to hit. I mean, Beltre's standing on deck. He's got a home run tonight, but if I'm Burton, I'm taking my chances with Adrian Beltre.
Deep to left. Willingham back. And we'll head to the 10th inning. Woo. Hamilton got something to hit, and he just missed finishing the ball game. Here all night long. You ready to go all night long?
Let's play till breakfast. As long as it's over by 6:30. My flight doesn't leave till 6:30.
Joe Nathan with Denard Span in the box taking strike one. A little bit different experience, I suspect, for Nathan, who in the 9th inning pitched against Domit, Plouffe, Dozier, and Carroll. And of those 4 Twins, he only played briefly with Plouffe. Now he's pitching to Span, Revere, and Mauer, guys that were very close teammates of his, and the game's on the line, and the fact that Nathan's out there pitching a second straight inning speaks to the importance of this game for Ron Washington. He wants that losing streak to end tonight.
Well, you just said exactly what I was thinking.
1 and 2 to Span.
Had the Rangers been on a 5-game winning streak, there's no way Nathan's throwing the second inning. But you're right, he does. He wants to throw the brakes on this losing streak and get them back on path before the All-Star break.
Up high, 2 and 2. Nathan hopes to get to the postseason with the Rangers, but he's gone to the postseason with Denard Span as his center fielder. And Joe Mauer, his catcher. 2 and 2. Span with a soft liner to second, or the short batter. Out at first.
Wow.
Young kept a foot on the bag.
And everybody's going to say there's no way he was off the bag, but I bet the replay shows when he laid out, he was still on the bag.
Jerry White starts the argument that will be picked up now by manager Ron Gardenhire.
This is one of those plays that the only way you'll know is replay.
Well, Young kept his foot on the bag going the other way earlier in the ball game.
We're going to look right here, and this will be a good view of it because we're getting the view from the shortstop.
He's out.
He's out.
Yep.
No, that's a great call.
It looked like his toe slipped off the bag,
but not until after he'd caught the ball. He's out. Yeah. Umpire made a great call. This will show it perfectly right here. Ball's in the glove, foot's on the bag.
So one down in the 10th, and that'll bring up Ben Revere. Revere 0 for 4. He has not had many games like that.
Well, and Adrian Beltre is in at third base, guarding against a bunt.
Fouled away, 2 quick strikes.
Yeah, if you're 0 for on the night and you're at last at bat, or could be your last at bats against Joe Nathan,
you don't want to be 0-2, do you? Revere reached 4 times in the ball game last night, and now 1-2. Twins feel that they have 2 leadoff men in Span and Revere, and that when Span doesn't get aboard leading off an inning, as he hasn't here in the 10th, they've got a pretty good chance with Revere hitting behind him. Grounder to second, knocked down by Kinsler, and that's exactly what happens. Revere will reach on what will probably be an infield hit. Kinsler already has committed more errors than he did all last year, but that was going to be a tough play even if he had fielded it cleanly.
Yep. You see, he gets to it, but even if he had fielded that ball cleanly in the pocket of his glove, there's no way he's getting Revere.
So Revere and his speed aboard at first. Mauer at the plate. 2 questions: if the Twins will send Revere, and how quickly, if he goes at all.
Well, there's a lot of closers that don't concern themselves with base runners. But in this situation, Joe Nathan has to, because he's got a guy that is a 3-time batting champ at the plate. If Revere gets to second base, there's a real good chance the Twins can take the lead.
Not on the first pitch, and it's a called strike. Revere was picked off of first base in the first inning. He reached on a fielder's choice. Was picked off by Derek Holland.
And this is when you start thinking, how many pitches is Mauer going to take to give Revere a chance to get the second, to get the bag stolen?
Very high. Nathan out there for his longest outing of the year. And again, it underscores the importance of this game to Ron Washington, who's got 2 chances to end this losing streak before the All-Star break, tonight and tomorrow night.
And for you folks at home that are seeing Joe Nathan throw those fastballs way up and out of the zone, that is not by mistake. He is changing the hitter's eyes.
Young fields a low pickoff throw.
As a pitcher, you don't want that hitter to be able to go up there and look in one zone. You want to have him to have to look up, look down.
Revere goes. Mauer lifts it foul over the Twins dugout. A good jump by Revere.
And I still look for Revere to run, because now you got a 1-2 count on Mauer. And you would assume that Nathan is going to go to an off-speed pitch, whether it be his curveball or his slider. He's going to go to one of them, you would think, which would be a good pitch for Revere to run.
One and two. And again, for almost all of Nathan's franchise record 260 saves as a Twin, Joe Mauer was his catcher.
And having been invited to leave so many teams as I was during my career, it's always interesting facing the guy that used to catch you.
One and two to Mauer. And a look over.
And the fact that he stepped off, he's thrown over, that tells me that Nathan is going to an off-speed pitch here.
Revere goes. Mauer drives it to left. Murphy back near the track, on the edge of the track, makes the catch for out number 2. And Revere retreats to first.
We're going to look at this pitch sequence to Joe Mauer and what Joe Nathan did. Starts him off with a fastball down the middle, then goes up high with one, comes back with another fastball up in the zone, another one up in the zone that he drives to left, but keeps him in the ballpark. Routine fly ball. It's just a good job of pitching.
Josh Willingham will hit next for the Twins.
And you can definitely look for Revere to be running at some point in this at bat, because even if he gets thrown out, Willingham would be leading off the next inning. Can they get it to the next inning?
Revere dives back. Revere goes. Napoli's throw not fielded by Kinsler.
Really
and
good
Revere
throw.
is hurt. I don't know whether the throw hit him. It may have, or whether he jammed a finger sliding head first.
I think the throw may have caught him in the elbow with his left arm.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the throw hit him in the back of the elbow.
It's a perfect throw by Napoli. I mean, it can't get any better. Yeah, it hit him right on the elbow. Kinsler actually whiffed this ball. It missed it completely, and that's how it hit him in the elbow.
Revere with his first steal of the night.
Yeah, right on
like
the elbow.
Revere's head first slide closed his glove right there.
It did. That's a good pickup right there, Dick. It did. It closed his glove.
1-0 to Willingham. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Well, that actually frees Nathan up to concentrate more on making pitches right now to Josh Willingham, rather than worrying about the base runner so much.
1-1. And Willingham.
That's a backup slider right there.
Uncoils and misses.
And he's expecting this ball to break, and see how it stays inside. Now, Nathan can do whatever he wants right here. He can go up, he can break and ball him.
1-2. And Willingham got a 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
And Nathan knows he got away with one right there. You saw the look on his face.
I was watching the jumps. He hopped 3 times after throwing the pitch.
Yeah, if you see the look on his face, he knows he got away with a bad pitch right there.
Another sellout crowd here in Arlington. Two and two. No twin has delivered more clutch hits in the late innings than Josh Willingham.
I think he's got to go to the breaking ball here. He's tried change up, fastball, go to the breaking ball.
That gets away, and Revere will go to third. And it's a full count now to Willingham with Morneau on deck. Pass ball charge to Napoli. So an infield hit, a stolen base, a passed ball, and the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. We have an issue out in center field. There's some debris in the warning track in right center. And I think they're going to ask Gentry. Nope, they're going to let it go.
He's going to politely decline to jog over there, and now he's going to go get it.
Just a wrapper of some sort. Willingham's worked the count full.
Well, one thing's for sure, you can't throw it hard enough for Willingham. He loves a fastball.
Got him.
But not up there.
Nathan survives another Twins rally. Pitches a scoreless 10th. Will return to Arlington after a word from your local Fox station. Arlington, Texas. Bottom of the 10th in a tie game, 3-3. The Rangers, with their longest losing streak of the year, 5 games, hoping to end it here in the bottom of the 10th against Kyle Waldrop.
Well,
Beltre, Cruz, and Young, 3 right-handed batters due to face him. Ball 1.
Beltre is not going to be up there looking to hit a little fluke single to right. He's going to be looking to do this. That's his home run from earlier in the game.
Big swing and a miss. 1-1. Waldrop got in 7 games last year. Recently called up by the Twins. He's pitched in 3 so far this year.
You saw that stat right there. 6 career walk-off home runs for Adrian Beltre. There's some guys that live for these moments.
It was his home run in the 6th that tied the game in 3. Obviously, neither team has scored since. Fouled away, although the Rangers have had plenty of opportunities. Burton had a 1-2-3 ninth, but the Rangers left 2 men on in the 5th, 1 more in the 6th. The base is full in the 7th, 2 in the 8th.
Leadoff hitter is the most important hitter. Get out right here.
Fly ball right field corner. And into the seats. And Beltre, I think, signaling he needs a new bat. And the Rangers had only hit 2 home runs over the last 8 games, but a pair of solo home runs here. The Twins have a solo home run. Rangers have never had a lead tonight. They tied it at 2 and again at 3.
You almost forget the job both starters did. I mean, Holland coming back off the disabled list, and then first major league start for Samuel DeDuno. They both did admirable jobs tonight.
As the Rangers hope to get some of their frontline pitchers back. A step forward for Holland today. And Waldrop thrown into the fire here in Texas. 2-2. Base hit left field. So Beltre aboard, leading off the 10th inning. And Mauer will go to the mound to talk to Waldrop.
Well, the way it looks, this is Waldrop's game. The Twins don't have anybody up in the bullpen. Gardner does what I believe should be done all the time on the road. He's got Perkins sitting out there, but he's not going to use him unless they get a lead.
Waldrop is the 6th Twins pitcher. Perkins, Fiend, and Swarzak are the only relievers left out in the pen. Brian Dunsing, who pitched the other day against the Tigers, said he was going to go out to the bullpen and be available if needed, but obviously Dunsing, who was hit in the ankle by a line drive in Detroit, Twins would rather not use him. Strike over the inside corner. Cruz on the night, an RBI double in the 2nd, a single, a fly ball to right, and a strikeout.
Well, you would hope that Beltre would be standing on at least second base when this at bat's over. Nelson Cruz is not going to bunt.
Another swing and a miss, 0-2. Young on deck. That's foul.
And see, to me, that's just way too good a pitch. Way too much plate in an 0-2 count.
Beltre has just 1 steal on the year. Scalded toward the left field corner. Past Willingham. Beltre to third. They're going to wave him around. Dozier's throw to the plate. And the Rangers' losing streak is over.
On an 0-2 double. That's what I'm talking about impatience right there, Dick.
Nelson Cruz hit the double so hard Willingham couldn't cut it off. And once it got to the wall, Beltre was waved around. And the Rangers even this series at a game apiece. And Cruz's runoff double is our Burger King play of the game.
We look at this pitch, and as I said, in an 0-2 count, that means you got 4 opportunities to get him to swing at a bad pitch, and that is center cut.
Willingham with a little bobble on the carom off the wall, and Dozier's throw a little bit offline. Needed to be a perfect throw, and Beltre with his hand touched home plate. And as far as Ron Washington is concerned, the skid for the Rangers is over. And we'll wrap things up from Arlington right after these messages from your local Fox station.